Hi everyone, welcome back to Data Ops Labs Meetup series. And this is the first session I'm going to conduct on 2026. And I got a great feedback from last year. The top three feedback which I want to get better from this year is one, I want to focus more on quality over the quantity. The second thing, they're asking me to chunk the session and go so deep dive into it. Okay. And also, they want me to make a consistent effort every month. At least they're expecting me to conduct at least one session. These are all the three feedbacks I want to take it. And also, I also got a feedback. I want to take more session on different cloud and upcoming topics where people can learn hands-on. Yeah, this is a common feedback. I got it from everybody. All the we have we have around 4,300 meetup members. All they asked is, can you make the session more hands-on and talk slow, walk through the basics in a detailed manner. This was the ask. So thanks guys for your great feedback. This is very important, and a lot of people are interested in building a application using a cross cloud for the enterprise needs. So that is another ask. I'm working towards that. So let's dive into today's session. Let me first walk through what we are planning to cover. Let me do this screen share. Again, guys, feel free to share your feedback. Your feedback means a lot to me. I know you guys are investing a lot of time of following my videos, following the meetups. It's great. So this is a continuous series. If you go to our meetup page, we ran through agentic core session for 3 sessions so far. And first session we started with what is agent core. These are the yeah, we started with AgentCore. It's around 50 minutes video. It's a lot of hands-on labs. People really gave me a good feedback about it. Then we started. This is about the second session. This is the second session. We started about how to go beyond the basics, how to create an agent developer without a starter toolkit. So this is a great session. And this is a third one. How do we memory? Memory is a really important one. How do we leverage memory for building an enterprise agentic workflow application or agentic application? We went through the detail, we gave a sample code, and we also built an application together. And I gave you see, this is the application, we built it together, and we have given a source code where you can go and play around. So continuation of it, we want to talk about the fourth topic on the agentic core. Okay, so if I go and see this agentic core, a lot of people subscribe for this. I saw around 156 people subscribe for this meetup for tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to you guys. This is about supercharging the agent with the built-in tools. Agent Core come with the built-in tools. Okay, they have a couple of tools which you guys really want to deep dive. One is core interpreter, another one is a browser in action. Okay, so what I'm planning, right? So based on all you guys' feedback, I curated the session in such a manner. I want to at least deep dive into one topic. Okay, so we plan to split this session into two. So today's session, let's focus on core interpreter, and if time permits, we will walk through for next session. Okay. Browser in action. Both are really interesting topics. Is really a lot of great ideas, great use cases for both the tools if you're building an agentic application. So let's dive deep and understand why do we need this, where to use it, all those topics. Okay. Let me go switch off my video. And again, I'm going to start with sharing a different screen. Give me a minute. Okay, hope you guys are able to see my screen. This is about Agent Core. This is the fourth session of the series. How to use a code interpreter. What is the future? What are the features we have in a code interpreter? When you are running via agentic core, the code interpreter, it created an isolated, secure sandbox environment. Even you can manage your package and everything. Okay, let's I understand first why do we need it? Okay, you can automate your data analysis and reporting workflow. Let's say in your workflow, you want to read the document, understand it, and you go fetch the financial statement and do some analysis and create a chart. This is a flow, right? This is the agentic flow. Currently, how we do is we will read through the document, then we will take the data, we will apply our BI tool, or we will do our basic exploratory data analysis and create the workflow, right? So and this is a manual intensive flow. This complete task, the data analyst task, can be completely done by the code interpreter, where it can read the document on flow and then it will go based on your prompt. It automatically understand your intent. It create its own logic, and it create its own code. Even if need to be uploaded some file, it will upload the file and it execute the complex transformation, and it can do the ETL. And if you want to go and fetch a few more document or few more data, it can able to do it. Okay, this is a primary use case, and the benefit is these are the features you can have whenever you are executing. It's not executing in the environment where your data is going out. It created a secured execution environment where you can the Python execution environment will be running, and you can upload the file from local, and you can try to download the file also. I tried both one, and then the data analysis, it will do the complete data analysis, and the resulting artifacts will be downloaded and create a visual data visualization. Of course, it will use libraries like a matplotlib or Seaborn, all those libraries, it will use it, and it create a proper calculation. It create a proper reasoning behind your calculation, everything, and it do the complete end-to-end simulation. Okay, these are all the advantages of running a core interpreter inside the agentic core. And it's not like only code interpreter in your flow, right? This is part of your flow. Okay, this is part of your flow. Yeah, of course, agents write and execute the code on demand in a flow. That is the one of the action need to be done, where it need to be interpret your complex information into the code. It automatically do this one. Because sometimes you cannot write a detailed prompt, correct? The better the let the do the calculation or the repetitive action, can be your input can be converted into the code for the better reasoning and better response, sorry, for the better accuracy, correct? And it handles a logic that is difficult to express in a prompt. That's what I was explaining. And it's an iteration, like this data analysis iterative process. Once you are able to automate this via in your flow, it will save a lot of time. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, one more feedback. They were asking me to correct all the labs in one of the repos. So because I have multiple repos, so I am working towards how to consolidate. So that is one action item I taken. So if you go to the GitHub, this is about the data of labs hyphen AWS. All the AWS related exercise we are doing, it will go under here. Under this, we have created a repo called Workshop Data Agentic Core Tools. Yeah, this is what we are planning to do today. Let me bring up the my favorite ID nowadays, which is Kiro. This is where all the labs are running. Um, so this is what we've seen. What is code interpreter, and what are the advantages we have. In this lab, we are going to spend some time about we'll start with the basics, okay? We start with the basics so that everybody have better understanding about how start the core interpreter session. When you're running for the long time, the session will be disconnected. I experience when I'm running through the lab. It's a very long running lab. I think yeah, it's almost like 90 cells. Maybe no, not 90 cells. I would have tried a couple of cells repeatedly. So maybe say 50 cells. So I want to walk through slowly. This notebook is available. Yeah, another feedback is I got it. I want everybody want the note in a notebook file so they can take this and then run by themselves and try it. Yeah, I have configured my AWS profile here. And so if anybody is running this notebook in your Kiro or IDE of your choice, make sure that you configure your profile, which is access key and secret key. Okay, so let me deep dive into it. This is a prerequisite you guys need to have. You need to enable this permission. So since it's a demo or the lab, I given agent Bedrock Agent Core colon star for my purpose. But if you guys make sure that have a relevant access. Okay, this is a required Python package. Let's try to run it. Okay, I think it's complete reset happened. So we are running it from the beginning. Yeah, there are some version issues, but it's okay. Yeah, I'm running on a Python 11.5. Anything I recommend highly run anything more than that. Okay. So at the high end, what this agent core, how it works, right? When the user submit the query or when a workflow it hand off to the one of the agent, it invoke the large language model and it select the tool on itself. So it can use a code interpreter. First, it initialize a code interpreter session. Then it will check based on your requirement. Do we need to upload the files or do we need to access to the file system or do we need to initialize a session? And then it create the code out itself based on your requirement. Then the results will be done. And if any kind of iteration need to happen, it will iterate by LLM. Okay. Of course, the advantage of having agent core is it has observability by default, enabled by default. We can have end-to-end observability. We have a separate session planned for observability. I'm building a labs. I say I'm only 10 to 50% completed in the lab. I'm gonna work on it. Maybe I think it's we are covering on an extra after month. Okay, on observability. Okay. Three areas we plan to cover on Agent Core in a deep dive. One is the Agent Core browser and Agent Core observability and Agent Core gateway. These are the topics we want to cover in depth. If you look at the previous sessions, it covered most of the things in a high level, but not in a deep dive manner. Memory, we did in a little deep dive. So this reinvent, we had a lot of announcement on the memory. Let me see whether while having any other project, we can include those advanced sessions and bring how it works. Yeah. So we install the library. Then we are initializing the session. So I'm initializing the session, testing my, okay. Yes. Okay. Here, we have five section. First in a fourth, sorry, you have four session. First session, we are not doing anything. We just creating the session and see how the sandbox are there and whether we are able to upload the files, we are able to run the command in the uh, I say sandbox environment. When we say session, it map it to the one of the sandbox environment, how we can able to run it. It's a sandbox and isolated environment, okay? So if I go, I'm importing the libraries. Here, this is the library we are using, Bedrock Agent Core tool, code interpreter client, and importing the code interpreter library. We are using our importing the JSON, and we want all kind of dictionary for the structure response. Okay. Okay. Here we just creating the client instance. That means we are creating a session. Okay. Yeah, here it is. Code client dot session. Okay. So here we just set the environment. 1 minute. I'll go walk through. Let me zoom a little bit. So Let's go to the previous session and see what it is doing. Okay, so we are setting up the code interpreter, and we have previously set the region. I set the region of US-East to 1. And if there is a proper region set, it is ready to start the session. If not, it will say go and set the session before. You have to set the session, everything here in our previous one. Here we need to set the session. And now let me invoke the session. So if it all goes good, it will say the session ID. Yes, the session ID got generated. Okay. And based off my knowledge and my experience, the session ID is available for 15 to 30 minutes. That's what I have seen. Some when I'm running this exercise, when I'm trying to do by myself, when I run for the long time, I see the session got disconnected. Okay. Okay. This is just selecting using this is a code line, and we are just starting the session. Post session, we are checking whether the session is active or not. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, what we are trying to do is we are go and running this code, test code inside the client. Okay. We are not running outside the client. We are running inside the client. Okay. Inside our sandbox one. So if you look at it, this is a response code.client and invoking that particular print statement. Okay, so if I go, yes, yeah, the Python is the program we are running, so it can run it on it. Good. So it's working properly. We have sent it. Let's create a, this will be very helpful. We are creating this call function. There are multiple pre-built tools inside it. Okay. So in order to call the tools repeatedly, we want to create the help function. So we are calling call tools, and this is a tool name. The tool name can be anything like a list file, get files, upload files. These are all the tools already available. We just want to create one helper function. See, this is what I'm saying, right? Execute the code, write files, list files. These are all the pre-built tools we already have. We want to create one helper function where we can call it quickly. Every time you don't want to call the code interpreter, blah, 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 and then running this one. So that's all. This is the first section. We covered the very basic thing. Okay, we imported the code interpreter SDK library. We checked the code interpreter client, and we have created a sandbox environment and check whether the sandbox environment is running file, and we are able to run some hello world inside the sandbox environment. Now we created a helper function also, making a tool call. Okay, next section is file operation. Very, very basic thing. We are uploading the file, creating the file, and list and inspecting the directory structure of the sandbox environment. And if we have created something we want to download back to the local environment, we can do this one. Okay, let's do one thing. This is a sample file. We are creating a very sample file. Okay, here if we go, these are all the files we have data. This is for our upcoming use case, but these are the local files we will upload it later. Okay, so we creating a function, read the local files, which is the reading a file from our local. Okay, and displaying it. Okay, so first we are running it. This file is what it is reading. If you look at it, this is the file it is reading. Okay. Now we are uploading the files. See, this is a file to upload is the variable we are keeping, and the data.csv file and stat.csv file. This is where the file we have. Okay. So if you look at it, this is a very simple program. Okay. Just create this one. Okay. So let, let me zoom that one. Okay. We are planning to upload the file. These are all the file path we are checking, and we are using the call tool and writing the files. And these are all the contents. If you look at the file to upload, these are all the files to upload. And we are uploading the files to the sandbox environment. Okay. Let me run. These are all the print statement. So it's uploading two files to sandbox. and the file uploaded successfully. Now it's ready to do the code execution, data analysis, and further processing. Now let me list inside the sandbox. If you look at it again, I'm calling the call tools. And previously we are talking about the write files, right? If you look at the program here, so we are using the call tool function and we are using a write files, and the content what we are uploading is the files which we have shown before. This is what we had done it before. Now what we are trying to do in this particular shell is we are listing the files inside the sandbox environment. Okay. So when I list the files, you can see this is a structure. It has a folder called log, run, data.csv, and stars.py and ipython. These are all the files it has. If we recently uploaded this file, star.py and data.csv file is there. Okay. These are the files we uploaded from local. Now let's create a file in a programmatically manner. Okay. Rather than uploading, we can create the file inside our sandbox from within a code itself. Okay. We say this is a config content and think like it's a readme file we are creating. Okay, guys, just creating a readme file and same thing we are creating the file. This is a content we are creating it and config.txt and readme.file. It create a empty file there. Then it update this readme dot like think like we are echoing this file inside our sandbox. That's all. Okay, it's not much. Okay, it yes. If I go, it creating the files called config.txt and readme.md. Now we want to verify all the files like call tool, list file, same. The call tool is a helper function. List file is the pre-built function which inside our, okay, see, we have four files now. Config.txt, status.py, data.csv, and readme file. Okay, now in this section, we know what is how to upload the file from local. Uh, how do we upload the file from local environment to the sandbox environment which we created where it is dedicated to run your execution. Okay, fantastic. So I want this two section to have a better understanding so that you guys, while you are going to the little deep dive session, you'll have a better understanding. We are going to run a basic code execution. Okay, here we are going to execute a simple Python code and we are taking the exception and the structured results. We want to take it from the code exception. If there is any error handling, we want to do any feedback, we can do it. Okay. Okay. Think here, this is a simple code, correct? This is a simple code. Okay. So it's just doing the arithmetic calculation. Okay. And this is a file. Simple code is the code. And this is a file. And we are executing the code. Execution code is another tools. And we are giving which program need to be called. Okay. So this is just to do the structured response. Okay, what is the response we got out of the execution code from the sandbox environment? We are taking that result in a structured manner. Okay, and it's a formatted result. Let me run it. If any exception, it will say exception. Okay, the code executed successfully and x is 10, y is 20, x plus y is 30, and execution time, execution code. This is what we are expecting from our structured code. See, if you look at it, this is what we are telling. Execution time, you give whatever the result, the standard out, please print out the standard out. And if it is failed, give us a failure information. Okay. See, this is what it is doing. Standard output print statement and standard error message and warning. If exit code is 0, if it is, it will give a result. If it is 1, it will skip to the error information and send us an error information. Now let's execute the file. Okay. what we have done before is we have created a program and we are run that created that particular program run executed on a sandbox environment. Now the file is already there. We are asking to read that file and do the data analysis for us. So this is a file processing code. It read the file which is already we have, and it is going to do this one. Okay. And what it is trying to do is it read the CSV file and checking the length of the file and column length, column names, and it is going to display for a few rows. Okay. And same thing, we are have showing the structured content. So now executing the code with the file access. The file is already there. We remember on the first one, we have uploaded the file and this is the data.csv file. So maybe it should give name, city, preferred animal, preferred thing. So name, preferred city, preferred animal, preferred thing, everything it is displaying. Okay, and it also told how many rows are there and how many columns are there. Well, one, two, three, four. Yes, four columns there. Yeah, we have almost the number of almost 2 million entries are there. Okay, almost 3 million. Okay. And it is important when we are executing, if there is any error, we need to take it. Okay. Now we are giving the error code. 10 minus 0, 10 division by 0, we will get up a results, different result. And we want this to be printed. Okay. Let's see how this calculation will be worked. When there is a error, it will go to this particular exception handling. So it's better always handle in a proper manner. So it's a error calling the tool, and there is a error, the way we input the data is different, wrong, so it is giving us an error. Still it is running. Errors in code reported. Error message include the exception type details. Let's go to the next one. So here we are giving the, let's demonstrate the error handling with uh, so previously whatever error comes, we have do the standard error and then sending. Now within the code itself, we will handle the error, right? Most of the time we will create the error function from the code. Okay. So how it will be reported, let's see. Okay, I think it is, yeah, it ran, but no response. The currently this is running, it will give you the error. Okay, so within the code we are calling that error function, it is giving. So all these executions are running within our sandbox environment. 10 by 2 is 5.0, 10 by 0 is none, 10 by this is none. Okay, because we are handling this error inside your code itself. Okay, see, this is one valid division. This is a valid division by, we cannot do the division, and it's the invalid result. Okay. So, so far we are doing a single operation, right? Let's do the multi-step code, okay? So we are saying read the file and do this action, and then few more tasks it will do it. We will see, this will just to do some calculation, some statistics. Okay, do the statistics. Okay, how much it is there, it will call that function and do the statistics. It not only printed the number of column, it do some, yes, this is what I are telling. Okay, describe the statistics. Okay, so let us see how it is running inside the code. So it processes a file, it doing the summary of the statistics. Yeah, scroll level element. Yeah, you see, this is this information we got it from it. Okay. Preferred city, preferred animal, preferred thing, and unique values, and the top unique values and frequency, all those information we got it. Okay. So now all the time we are doing is we just are testing our sandbox environment and how the codes are running successfully. Okay. We're not still deep dive into how the agent core is integrated into it. Okay. We just tested. Okay, there is a code, there is a sandbox environment. We are able to run successfully or not. That's what we are doing it. Okay. Now let's see agent driven code execution. Okay, we manually wrote Python code to execute, and there is no LLM involved there. Previously, there is no LLM. Okay. Now let's include LLM into the mix. Okay. So whatever we written a code, we just write a thing in a plain English and see how it is executing. Okay. So I want you to see how manually it works when we are giving the prompt, how it works. Okay. So before that, I want you to all understand the Strands framework. I think we have covered in multiple sessions. Strands is a agent development kit from the AWS. That is most of our code going forward is going to run from here. Okay. So we are creating a new session, guys, or if there is any existing session, we are importing the session. Okay. Okay, here we are creating the prompt. First, we are giving the prompt. You are a helpful AI assistant. Validate all the answers to the code execution. Okay, when validation principle, when making a claims about a code, algorithm, or calculation, write code to verify them. So we are clearly tell them, make sure you write the code to validate this one, and use execute code to test the mathematical calculation. We are just giving the prompt. Okay, we're giving the prompt, and uh, you this is a program already available. This is the tools we are discussing, right? It's already available. uh, this tool will give you the session ID and request ID and all this information. This is a standard system prompt we have given. Let us run the system prompt. Yes, I'm running this, ran the system prompt, and create code execution tool. Okay, this is a tool we are creating, which is, if you look at it, previously we were using a call tool, right? Same way we creating the execute Python code tool, which is for the reusable purpose. So this tool will create the uh, Python code, okay, and it will create inside your create a session if it is not there, or it will use the existing session, and it execute in a secured sandbox, and all the results will be in a particular JSON format because that's what we prompted with. Yes, create and configure the agent. Okay, now we are creating the agent. Okay. This is the agent we are using the tool, and this is a system prompt we are using, and if everything is going fine, the agent created successfully. If not, it will give you the error. If the session is not there, I have seen a couple of times the session is not there, it giving us an error. Okay, yeah, it's telling we are using a 3.5 sonnet model, and this is the execute Python we are using. Okay, now we are doing the mathematical calculation. Tell me the largest prime number between 1 and 100, which is less than 84 and more than 9. See, this is a prompt we are giving. Okay. And we are calling this agent and taking us the response. Okay. It will take it will send, this is a prompt we will give, and it call the execute Python tool, and the agent will be invoked, all the, and it do the calculation and give us a response, and we want to see the reasoning everything in our window. Let me see, this is we executed. See, this is the agent response. I am finding the largest prime number that satisfy your condition by writing the code and check the prime number. So this is creating the code. This is what I'm saying, guys. Okay, this is what, and this is happening inside your sandbox execution environment. Okay, scroll element. Let's create a scroll element so that you guys we will all see. So it ran the program and it applied the log. It created the program by itself based on our prompt. Okay, and this is a program written by if n is less than 2, then n is equal to 2, and this is a condition to check the prime number and check the odd divisor, and it is checking the odd divisor, and they found out 83. And this is the code which is generated. So you have seen this now. Okay, the my code verification shows that 83 is the indeed prime and it is satisfy all your condition. It is between 1 and 100 and is less than 84 and it is more than 9. All the prime in the range of 10 to 83. 83 is the largest, and it also printed the primary numbers. Okay, this is what I'm saying, guys. We just with a simple prompt, we are able to do this action. Okay, in a sandbox environment. Now let's do the complex scenario. We uploaded the data.csv file, right? Tell me how many rows and columns we have and provide us some. We did this exercise manually by writing the code. Now with a simple prompt, if I execute it, the agent core will use its own separate sandbox environment, and it created its own code. Okay, we're not given a code. Okay, I think we import issue and create the analysis. Okay, looks like the file is not there. Let's see whether it is able to upload. I don't think so it can upload. See, it says that that file is not there. So we have to do this exercise. Where is the file upload? Okay. Okay, write files. Okay, let's run this exercise, run this tool. Maybe I initiated the new session. That's why it is missing. It's okay. This is how we should debug. Execute multiple steps, right? Code. Now file upload is happening. So, yes. Okay. It is initiate a new session. Okay, guys, let's do this new session. Where is the new verify session is active? Yeah, this is the one we need to do. See, this is what I got a feedback, guys. They want me to show the live code and see where I'm stuck and how do we fix this code and test it. Okay. So analyze. This is the one, right? Data analysis with upload file. So now we initializing the new session. Good. Now we need to upload the file. So it says Gen access the CSV file we uploaded earlier. Yeah, that session is gone. We need to upload the file again. This is the file to upload. Okay, file to upload. Section 3, system code execution, configure the agent. We did it. Verify the number we did it. Now we created a new session. Now we have to upload the file. Let's see. We upload the file successfully. Okay, now we uploaded the file. Previously we were not able to find the file. Now we execute. Okay. Okay. Looks like the file is there. Okay. It's finding the file. Ooh, it's hallucinating. This is not the file we have. Seriously, this is not a file we have. See, it says as if we have actual data.csv file. It is not the file we have. It's completely hallucinated. It's not able to find the file. It hallucinated. Okay, let us first do this one. We uploaded the two files into the sandbox. And then we need to list the file. Okay. Uploaded files to the sandbox and list the file in the sandbox. Let's list. Code. Yeah, this file is there. No, I can see the file. The data.csv file and stats.py file is there. And why this failing? I don't know. Let's try again. Same file, right? This is data.csv file. Looks like there is no file found. Let us do one thing. Interpret. Okay, looks like it is not able to find the file. Okay, just let's debug it little later. Okay, so if the file is not there, it will not work. But we are able to see the file. Maybe it is having some different session. Let's debug this one. Okay, I can see whether I can tell the. Okay, Let's see whether we can tell the prompt. File data.csv is not found. You can upload the file from data slash data dot. Let's see whether we can with the prompt we can execute this. Okay. Okay. Open integrated then. I want to fix this. Still it is executing. Whether it has found it or not, I'm not sure. I don't think so. It found it. No, no, it's hallucinating. Let us interpret. Okay, let's try. So I want to try multiple option. This is the last try. If it is not working, let's skip. Oh, it is not, it will not work because it is looking at the file, okay? Because it is looking at the file from the session, okay? Okay, if because it is looking under the particular session and the sandbox for any numeric calculation. Is it has provided a summary. Document, okay, from local file system to system. See this search. I will search for then I try to access the file path you provided. Okay, it is not there. Okay, we need to upload the file. I think somewhere say it's there is a new session initiation happen. That's why it is not able to upload. Okay, we will figure it out, guys. Okay, we will figure it out in the further session. Let's go to the next one. It's good, good. So here implement the algorithm. It's automatically create its own algorithm and test with the examples and verify the correctness. Okay. So we implement the Fibonacci square algorithm and calculate the first 15 Fibonacci numbers, verify that each number is the sum of the previous two, and this is what we are trying to do. It creating its own algorithm. It's not only the program. Okay, it has to create its own algorithm, creating the code by itself. Um, and it is able to successfully generate the numbers. So automatically created the algorithm. Okay, let me create a complete implementation in one cell. Don't ask me what is this. I don't not, I'm not aware of this, but it is automatically creating the code. So this is a 15 Binance number, and it applied the created algorithm, and it create running throughout the rest and giving us the reasoning. Okay. Okay. Now let us. I think it's the last section, guys. Yeah, it's the last section. We have few more to run. It's the last section. Okay. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay. So we have seen how to execute the Python code, and we know how to it automatically with a prompt, it creating a Python code and execute the Python code. That's what we have seen. And yeah, there is a hallucination happen. If the file is not there, we can see there is a hallucination happen. We need to make sure the file is available. We can create a system prompt clearly that if the file is not there, don't execute, don't hallucinate. It will not even create it will avoid those kind of hallucination. So what we have a high level we did it is we have created a strands agent with the code interpreter tools, and with the natural language we are able to execute the code, create the code and execute the code, and we are able to analyze the files that we are not able to do it, but we have few more session we are going to do this one, and we did a multi-step algorithm. It automatically created its own algorithm and applied a done it. Okay, so there's a difference, right? Here you write your code, here we are doing the natural language. You write it, here agent generated. It's a fixed logic, it's adapt to the query, where if you are changing the prompt it automatically adapt the query. Here you have to manage it, here agents will handle it. These are all the advantages when you are running this manually and as well as welling through the agent. Okay, so then we are doing the advanced analysis. Okay, here we are the same data.csv file will be used. We are going to do the analysis. We will go through this one. Same file will be read. Okay, let us see. Yes, preferred city, preferred animal, preferred thing. We can see this information. Okay. Here we are doing the statistics analysis. Here we are running executing in the local. Okay, we are executing this into the with a manual program. We are running this in a manual program. We want to do this, simulate this one, how we can run this in a okay. So here we are taking the preferred city, preferred animals, and preferred things, and running analytics and running some statistics analysis on it. Okay. Here we are creating the visualization. Yeah, it created the file locally. We're not able to print it. We have to download that particular file to the local. So printing done successfully, and this is the file, but this is an inside the files inside your sandbox. It is not in your local. Okay, you can do the advanced cross tabulation analysis. If you have multiple datas, you can just do the analysis. See, this is what will happen. I told you, right? If certain within certain minute it will become inactive, we have to run it again. Okay. So, but I will before I'll go to the next session and run through this again. But the good thing is I'm telling you it's not only do this one, you can do the advanced analysis also. We have created the code here and executing it. Next session we will do this via prompt also. We can do this via prompt. So before joining there, I want to show you some flexibility in a command execution, like system operation, like run, executing grep the file, list the file, All those things we can do it from here. Okay, so here I'm just system commands. Oh, we don't have a session. I think we need to invoke the session again. I should have one create session, start the code interpreter session. This is the session we need to produce. Where are we failing? Yeah, here it is failing. If you guys want to run this again, we can run this code also by initiate anyway we taking it right. Code, we are initializing the session, which is getting one sandbox. Now you can run this. Are we getting an error? Okay, let's skip. We have only a few minutes. Let's run this session. So here we will able to run now. Now it should run on a sandbox. I just go to the sandbox working directory and it is telling which is the current user, what kind of version it is using, what Python version it is there, and it is provisioning us a 10 GB of a sandbox. Right, this is our virtual environment, okay? And we are running this particular commands again now. Still it is loading. Scroll element. Yeah, I think it's done. So now you're running a file, list file, grep, cat, all those things. If you want to download the file from the local, you need to test this one. Oh, last time I had the same thing happened here. I just created a new work session. So here I'm uploading the file. If you look at it, I'm uploading the content data.csv file again here. So we are checking, is there any command we are running the command locally here. Okay. If you look at this code, this will run the code inside your sandbox. Okay. So it is checking whether a file is there or not, everything. Okay. Let's see. File operation ran successfully. It is able to check the file and it is checking. Okay. We can even install the Python packages if you want on inside your sandbox environment. If you want to have certain version of the Python packages, if it is not there, you can install. So if you now you guys know the concept, right? So it is still it's going to be straightforward. If you don't have that particular package, you can install the package. So it says these are the libraries. So matplot library is there, and I remember I installed the Seaborn library for the sum of the analytics. So error handling. So in case of any kind of error handling we have seen, um, it's for the standard error and standard output. For that, if we are particularly listing the files, it won't be there inside the sandbox. It is running. If some code is not there, it will give you this one. Okay. So this is about the running the system commands in your code interpreter. Um, yeah, this is what we said. So we did a inspect what is the Linux version, file system, and we install the library. Okay. So if you are running any DevOps process in AgentCore, if you want, you can use this kind of library. The last one, real world, it's a data end-to-end pipeline. Just I'll take another few minutes to explain this process, guys. I'm not sure whether we can do everything. So here, validating the code, checking whether all the results are passed or not. So we are telling if the data.csv file exists, load the data, and then execute that particular column and do the complete data analysis. Okay. And give us a response. So it says the file is there and it loaded the data, and it validating the schema. Okay, if there is any mismatch, it will give us a response. So it says the file is there and it loaded the data, and it validating the schema. Okay, if there is any mismatch, it will say you these are the files found, and it is checking the duplicate results and everything, and we are doing the data analysis. We are running, if you look at it, we are running the code. We can run through the prompt also, but still want to show you this how it can run via code. So we are doing the end-to-end analysis. This one we have seen before, and we can even create your own chart. Everything you can do via prompt also, guys. Okay, we can do via prompt. It create a chart. Yes, it created a file. You see, it created a dashboard dot analysis dashboard file locally. Okay, and we can list the files, but now the files may be on the sandbox. You see, this is a file, cities detail file. 1 minute, it will have that. This is the old one. Still listing the files. Yes, because the old is still running. 54, 55. Yeah, two files are there. Cities detail and analysis details are there. And let's create one executive summary. This is the data we have, and we have given a prompt which is going to give you the executive summary. So let me run it again. We did a complete data analysis. It's the last section, I think so. Yeah. We created a prompt which automatically built in, and it will give you the executive summary, preferred, all those information. So if you look at it, it will run through the whole details. Create a visualization. It use LLM to give you the complete response in a structured manner. You do the analysis for whatever the code we have executed, and the response will be sent to it to the agent, which will give you the complete executive summary. Yeah, I think that's all. We have accomplished, this is what we accomplished, guys. Okay, we created a session management, file operation, then code execution, and we have seen how the agent driven workflow look like. And also we did a data analysis. Yeah, there is an error, but we have seen in a further use case, it read the CSV file and it is able to create a dashboard. And we have seen the command execution, which is needed for our DevOps pipeline and anything. Then we have touched upon the real world applications, end-to-end data analysis, and it creating with executive summaries using LLM. That's all. So with this creative, this is what we want to show in code interpreter session, guys. So hope this will be really useful for your learning. Feel free to look at it and share your feedback. Okay, thanks, stay tuned. We'll see you in a future session. Have a great day, guys.